Things are moving so fast. It just happened again. I'm making another video entirely, and I just see this.
Yeah, a late night post here from President Trump, who says that all pardons issued by former President Joe Biden are void. Indeed, just a few short hours ago, Trump took to social media accusing his Democratic predecessor of using an Autopen to sign acts of clemency while in office, rather than doing so by hand, thus declaring Biden's pardons not valid.
The pardons that Sleepy Joe Biden gave to the Unselect Committee of Political Thugs and many others are hereby declared void, vacant, and of no further force or effect because of the fact that many were done by Autopen. In other words, Joe Biden did not sign them, but more importantly, he did not know anything about them. The necessary pardoning documents were not explained or approved by Biden. He knew nothing about them, and the people that did may have committed a crime. Therefore, those on the Unselect Committee who destroyed and deleted all evidence obtained during their 2-year witch hunt of me and many other innocent people should fully understand that they are subject to investigation at the highest level. The fact is, they were probably responsible for the documents that were signed on their behalf without the knowledge or consent of the worst president in the history of our country, crooked Joe Biden.
Additionally, Trump claimed without evidence that Biden failed to give consent for preemptive pardons issued to the 9 House Select Committee members that investigated the January 6th insurrection, along with many others granted clemency on the former president's last full day in office on January 19th.
The mainstream media with their freaking without evidence line. Oh yeah, no, Trump just by himself completely made up Biden's cognitive issues.
Sir, why did you pause LNG exports to Europe? Like, I don't understand, liquefied natural gas is in great demand by our allies. Why would you do that? Because you understand, we just talked about Ukraine. You understand you're fueling Vladimir Putin's war machine because they got to get their gas from him, And he looks at me stunned with this, and he said, I didn't do that. And I said, Mr. President, yes, you did. It was an executive order 3 weeks ago. And he goes, no, I didn't do that. And he's arguing with me. I said, Mr. President, respectfully, could I go out here and ask your secretary to print it out? We'll read it together. You definitely did that. And he goes, oh, you talk about natural gas.
Huh. That almost sounds like exactly what Trump is talking about. President Biden insisted he didn't sign executive order just weeks after doing so, Speaker Johnson reveals. President Biden had no clue whether or not he signed a critical executive order, one that affected the Russo-Ukraine war. I mean, just think about what Speaker Johnson was saying for a second. We are in the middle of trying to contain Russia in this whole Ukraine situation. And then out of nowhere, Biden signs an executive order handing all of Europe's oil needs to Russia for Russia to supply because we just stopped exporting LNG, liquid natural gas? Are you out of your mind? We're going to empower Russia while we're in the middle of a proxy war trying to manage Russia. Johnson didn't believe Biden was lying. He was left to believe that the then 81-year-old leader genuinely had no idea what he had signed. And nobody should take this Inside Edition report from 2 months ago as relevant context.
President Biden was out and about today visiting a children's hospital with First Lady Dr. Jill. The rare public outing seen as an attempt to reassure the nation after a bombshell Wall Street Journal report claimed his staff has been concealing his cognitive decline right from the start of his presidency. According to the Journal, there were limits over who Biden spoke with and what they said to him. At events, aides often repeated instructions to him, such as where to enter or exit a stage that would be obvious to the average person. And Hollywood mogul Jeffrey Katzenberg was even asked to find a voice coach to improve the president's fading warble.
Everything we have to do with, look.
It seems to me like the White House owes it to people to be a little bit more forthcoming about, what people can see with their own eyes.
Wall Street Journal reporter Rebecca Ballhaus says she and her colleagues spoke to 50 Biden insiders.
I think, of course, the fact that Biden has lost the election and is not going to be president as of late January next year makes it a lot easier for some people to speak.
This president was not capable of fulfilling the duties of the office, and his staff and the White House lied about it. and kept it from the American people. It's an absolute scandal.
And apparently, while they were doing that, they were signing executive orders that he had no idea about with a freaking Autopen. This is normal. This is normal. Nothing to see here. Everybody go back to sleep. Keep donating to the CIA. I mean, Act Blue. You know, there are some insane parallels to Reagan's second term and Biden's first term that just kind of blow my mind. The least of which being when a debate flop raised concerns about Ronald Reagan's mental fitness during his run for re-election. During the 1984 campaign, the 73-year-old president meandered his way through his first face-off against Walter Mondale, prompting questions about his mental acuity. And if you guys remember, Biden was not polling well. It was pretty much neck and neck with Bernie Sanders until they got him to drop out. For example, in Iowa, Biden was polling at 27%, Bernie Sanders was polling at 25%. And we all know how skewed these polls are in favor of establishment picks.
A few things need to be said here plainly. There's no authority that gives Donald Trump the ability to overturn his predecessor's pardons. The Autopen argument seems nonsensical.
Yo, do me a favor, like and subscribe if you think that guy's a an idiot, and share this video with someone, because these are the narratives that we need to combat out there. Are you kidding me? Everything we just laid out so far in this video, no one is gonna buy that stupid line. Oh, there's no evidence. The Autopen argument is nonsensical. Only if you ignore all of the facts of the situation. Only if witness testimony somehow magically is no longer a thing.
But this is clearly a warning in some way, particularly at those who invest on the January 6th committee, those who investigated the conduct of Trump and his allies, saying, and I'll just read from his Truth Social post, they should fully understand that they are subject to investigation at the highest level.
Good. It's 56 days in. We want our agenda accomplished, and you think we don't see all the resistance he's getting? Yeah, we want him to push back. We want him to start sending a warning. We've put you on the back heels, deep state, CIA, and if you don't understand that yet, there's a whole world of legal hurt waiting for you in the court systems. And if you think these corrupt judges are gonna save your ass, I got another thing coming for you. I was saving this for that other video I was recording, but I think this fits perfectly too. Those upset by the emerging dictatorship of district court justices behaving as though they were president should read the Judiciary Act of 1802. Jefferson and his party completely revised the entire court system and abolished a series of Federalist judges they deemed illegitimate. A warning to the current out-of-control judiciary. Yo, thank you so much for joining me, guys. I got a little fired up. I hope I didn't take it too far. Sometimes I can get heated, and I hope I didn't put that on you guys. I hope it was just enough to where we could vibe out. I mean, they spent a year trying to ignore Republicans talking about Biden's mental decline before the election was even happening. You guys rock. Check out some of the other stuff. I'll see you on the next one.